everyone. I hope you are staying safe. Welcome back to Girl Inside, a podcast all about staying in from someone who has done it for, at least 2.5 years professionally, and a little bit longer than that just because that's who I am as a person. Hi, my name is Hannah, and I'm here and I'm going to chat to you about how life is going in isolation and how working from home is going, and just some fun stuff. Let's get through this together. And by together I mean me sitting alone in my childhood bedroom telling you stories while my mother moves rocks around in the front garden, and I go, why are you moving that? That's so unnecessary. And I do the exact same thing on Animal Crossing. I did notice that this morning, that I am my mother, but I'm doing it in a virtual world and she's doing it outside. So that's how we are feeling emotionally today. That's the little first check-in point there. That's how we're going. I hope you guys are going well. I hope you're staying indoors and staying safe. And let's just chat. I had a lot of thoughts today over breakfast, which I'm ready to bring to you. And I hope that you find them just as intriguing as I do. So I had waffles for breakfast again, because there's been this ongoing problem of we buy waffles and then there's not enough maple syrup. So we buy maple syrup, but then there's maple syrup and no waffles. So we buy more waffles, and it kind of is this recurring cycle. And we're at a point now where we have like 7 waffles in our house and there's not enough maple syrup to go with them all, but we're just going to have to make it through. We're just going to have to either eat them without, or they'll go off, and that'll just have to be it because I have to stop having waffles for breakfast. There was a week there where I had a waffle for breakfast every day, and that is unhealthy. And that was during the depression phase of self-isolation, which was, went for 2.5 weeks and I just ate trash. And then the last 3 days I've been like, I'm getting healthy. And I woke up this morning with a pimple on my chin and was like, what have I done to deserve this? I've been being healthy for 72 whole hours. How could you? Because most of the breakouts that I get on my skin are purely related to diet. So when I eat like trash, my face shows it. So if someone's like, have you had Macca's lately? And I'm like, no, I'm not eating McDonald's at all. And I have like a chin full of pimples. They know I'm lying. So I've been trying to be healthy, but we have these waffles that I have to eat. So I was eating waffles. And I'll be honest with you, the fruit god smiled upon me this morning, because there is a little bit of, when you go to the supermarket, you just get what you get, and then it's in your house and you just, sometimes it's going off a little bit and you just got to eat it because that's all you got, because you don't want to have to go to the supermarket. And I personally am very particular about fruit and like how ripe it is and when you eat it. And when you see those charts that are like milk and toast and it's like varying degrees of light brown to dark brown, and it's like, are you a 1 to a 7 or are you an A to a G or whatever? On those, some people are like, anywhere between 2 and 5. And I'm like, I am a 3. And if it's anything outside of that, I am not happy. I'm so particular in how I eat my food, and specifically like ripeness of fruit. And this morning I was very lucky. I managed to get the perfectly ripe banana where it's maybe got 1 brown spot on it, maybe. And maybe at the top it's still a little bit that like greeny white color. Like it's in that very middle phase of it's both ripe and unripe at the same time. I love one of those where when you peel back the top of it, it like crunches as you take the top off the banana, which isn't actually the best way to peel a banana. When monkeys do it, okay, now we've tangent about peeling bananas. We'll get back to breakfast in a second. When monkeys peel bananas in the wild, they squeeze the bottom of it and it falls apart, and then they eat the banana out of it. And that's how you get the look of a banana peel with the stem on top of it, like a Mario Kart-esque banana peel, because that's how monkeys eat them, and they discard the peels. Pulling back the top of it is a very human thing that is actually not the best way to peel a banana, because if you peel it the way we do it, all those little, I was about to call them filaments, but that's not what they are. They're like pithy strings. So it's later, Hannah. I'm sorry. I've had to cut in here. Filament is correct. And I don't know why when I think something like that, I instantly go, well, that's not right. I don't know why I thought of that word. It's got to obviously be the wrong word. So I was like, what is that banana stringy thing called? It's called a phloem, phloem. That's banana specific. But the word filament, I was like, then why did I think it was called a filament? So I looked that up. A filament is a slender thread-like object or fiber, especially one found in animal or plant structures. So this, I know that it's insane for me to have to cut in here and be like, you know how I said that I was wrong? Well, actually, I was correct. But it's so important to me that, firstly, I provide correct information when I put it out there, that you don't go around in the world thinking that filament doesn't mean that when it does. But also, yes, I do need you to know that I'm just smart, but second guess it all the time. Like, I knew that inside my brain. I am smart. I just don't trust myself. So now back to me talking about how to peel a banana. If you peel it the way we do it, all those little pithy strings stay on it. But if you peel it from the bottom, depending on how ripe the banana is, you're much less likely to get those strings and have to like go and peel them off. And you may say, Hannah, but who cares? I'll just eat those pithy strings because it's banana flesh and it tastes the same. And when it's still attached, I can't tell. But we've just gone through a whole 5-minute diatribe about how particular I am about my food. So I think you already know what I'm going to say is it matters to me. And so if it also matters to you, then that is my gift to you, is that's how you should peel a banana to get less of those pithy strings. But anyway, I peeled this banana today. I didn't peel it in the correct way. I peeled it from the top because I think about these things and then I forget. And then I'm halfway through peeling a banana going, I did it the wrong way. I'm such an idiot. So I peeled it, it crunched, it was amazing, but it was like soft on the inside. And then I also had strawberries and they were just like, this sounds disgusting and I'm so sorry, but they were just like wet, which was really nice. But in the way that the actual strawberry was like crunchy still. So when you cut into them, the juice actually leaked out of it, as opposed to when they're kind of soggy and you cut into it and the juice just kind of like is in it already because it's kind of a soggy old strawberry. Gross. It's got perfect strawberries, perfect bananas. And I was thinking about, is there a better fruit combination than bananas and strawberries? And in my mind, I think the answer is no. Unless we're going to go on the tangent of anything with a seed in it is a fruit. And then I would say avocado plus tomato is also very high on my list. But I don't know if I would count that necessarily as a fruit. I think a fruit is something that can be in both breakfast, because avocado and tomato happily sit in breakfast. But a fruit, or what I would consider colloquially as a fruit, not necessarily I'm a food scientist and I know all what goes into what category, blah, 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 blah. Because I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not. I'm not a scientist at anything, any of the sciences. That's not what I'm about. What was I saying? I got distracted about how I'm not a scientist. Then I started thinking about how sad I was. I'm not a scientist. I was like, if I really applied myself, maybe I could do it. Maybe now is the time. Sitting at home, got time to study. Okay, we're back on track. So an avocado and a tomato are, yes, technically a fruit, but colloquially, I don't know, maybe an avocado is like a legume. Just grill me in the comments, whatever. I think that a fruit should colloquially be something that can both be in breakfast and dessert. That's a fruit, right? It's not a lunchtime thing. It's not a dinner thing. If it is, it's a little bit like interesting and different. Like, a salad with a strawberry in it. That's a little bit interesting. But I think a fruit really should be a breakfast and dessert, not exclusive, but like that's their strongest suit. Whereas a tomato, yeah, breakfast, that's fine. Fry up English breakfast, even a healthy omelette, as the French say. You can go with a tomato, but I just don't think that, I don't know what you're eating dessert tomato. That, I'm honestly racking my brain and it just doesn't seem like that's fun. Even if you could, my point is its strongest suit is, as a lunch and dinner dish. Because I think that you can have savory breakfast anyway, Now we're just discussing the difference between savory and sweet and which fruits are better savory and which fruits are better sweet. And I don't really want to get into that because I've just realized that my entire theory about breakfast and dessert is because I like sugar for breakfast. We're not going to delve into that. That's the type of introspection we don't need today. My point was there's no better fruit combination than strawberries and bananas. Because they're different, right? And because they're both sweet and bananas are creamy and strawberries, when they're perfect, are like kind of crispy. Like crispy is the wrong word, but like they have a bit of a bite to them, a bit of a crunch. They don't give as much when you bite into them. They kind of resist you a bit. This is feeling weirdly sexual about strawberries now. But aren't they? Aren't we all? Some of us have been at home alone for a full month, and definitely that is the maximum amount of time that I've been alone for, but it might have been longer than that. So the fact that we're talking about strawberries and getting weirdly sexual is not a surprise to me because I'm inside my own brain. I'm not into strawberries. I'm just into anything right now. Anyway, what was I saying? Strawberries. I started thinking about strawberries and then Chris Evans, and everything went funny. So we're going to just take a sip of tea and come back to it in a second. Oh fuck, this tea is so good. I get T2, really Russian Caravan. It tastes like a campfire, and for somebody who has PTSD from bushfires when I was like 6, really thought that we were going to die and our house was going to burn down and we were going to have to evacuate. The fact that my tea smells like a campfire or like a smoke is an interesting choice, but it's like, I don't know. What is it? Exposure therapy? Something like that. What's that Fault in Our Stars quote? You take the killing thing and put it between your teeth, and then it doesn't have power anymore, but you don't light it or something. He's got a cigarette between his teeth unlit, and it's like, okay, 16-year-old dude, you're really poetic. But it's the same thing. It's like you take the thing that terrifies you and you put it inside your body, and then you are in control of it, So that's what we're doing. Anyway, we're back to fruit now. I'm sorry. I'm not done. I had so many thoughts about it. So the reason that strawberries and bananas are the best fruit combination, and I'm happy to be challenged on this. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'd love to know what you think is best for you. I'm not saying, I am saying this is the be all and end all of fruit combinations and I'm always correct and you're wrong. But also I understand that that is like a weird ego thing that I have and that's not real for everybody. So we're just going to step away from that ledge of narcissism. And I realize that you may prefer a different fruit combination, but for me, I think it's best. And here's why. It's because they're different. Because you might say, Hannah, the best fruit combination is mixed berries. But that's like saying, they're too related. I find a girl attractive. I'm going to look at her sister and be like, 99% of the time, I'm going to be like, she's attractive too. Because they're related. So to say like, oh, mixed berries are the best combination, or like lemon lime is the best fruit combination, is like, they're not different enough flavors for it to create, like a balance. There's nothing for the flavors to play off. I've been watching way too much Bon Appetit Test Kitchen. And yes, I will say Bon Appetit. Bone. I've been watching too much of that show, so I think I know about flavors, when really you're watching a show about food and you can't taste what they've put in it and you're like, you have over-seasoned that. Like you think but you don't know. So that's where I'm at with fruit. Because yeah, if you like strawberries, you're going to like mixed berries. It's the same with all types of sibling fruit, except here's a thing that you might not know about me, and this is no longer about the correct answer. This is just my personal opinion. We've stepped away from the narcissism and said, and we are saying, and I am saying, I like citrus fruits except for oranges. There's something about oranges that just taste slightly too different. Like if I had just played a game of sport and somebody came up with a box of like cut oranges and was like, here, have a refreshing orange. Yeah, I'd take one, maybe. But if they came up and were like, here are some oranges or here are some lemons and limes to refresh yourself with, I would take a lemon and lime over the orange every day. I just don't like oranges that much. They don't taste close enough to the citrus. There's something about them. I don't know. I actually think I don't mind real oranges too much. I very much hate fake orange flavor. That's something I'll never eat it. Like, Not at all. It's like when you eat all the like blue and red lollies out of a packet and the only ones left are like lemon, lime and orange, and you're like, it's a special citrus packet flavor, and you like give it to your friend, you're like, I didn't eat all the good ones, what are you talking about? Strawberry isn't a real Starburst flavor, you've imagined that. And then you start gaslighting a friend so that you can get away with eating the best lollies, and then they're stuck with the citrus ones, and it's like this great symbiotic relationship, except don't do that. I've just realized that's actually a horrible thing to joke about. I joke a lot about gaslighting because it's something that I personally experienced in my marriage. So, but, that doesn't make it okay for me to joke about it and be like, oh yeah, lol, gaslight your friend. But we all know I was joking. That's the point of it, is I think that you can, let's just get into this now. It's okay for you to joke about sensitive topics as long as the punch down is on the person who's in the position of power. So the joke there is like, what type of idiot person would gaslight a friend about lollies? Like, it's not a serious topic. That person's an absolute fuck. So the joke there is like the quote unquote me in the joke that's like, lol, I'm gaslighting my friend. The joke's on me for being that much of an idiot. So that's my defense of that joke. How many of these are we going to have where I'm talking shit in my room and I'm going to say something and then suddenly be like, fuck, someone's going to criticize me about that. So now I have to explain why it's okay for me to say that joke so that I don't get like grilled on the internet, and a handful of people are going to hear this and watch this, because like I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm not like hashtagging my posts about it. I'm doing it because I'm bored in my room and I like creating content, but I'm not in the mood for the whole deal of it right now. I'm doing like content light, This is the free version. The paid version is very different. That is true. Go to my website, pay me to do things for you, please. But yeah, that there's this idea that, it might only be 10 people who hear it, or it might only be 100 people who hear it. But one of them is going to have such a problem, they're going to just like complain to you about it. And that used to happen to me all the time. It's part of why I stopped making YouTube videos, is because I didn't like getting comments from people who clearly, like, sometimes they were very ill-intentioned and were trying to be cruel. And sometimes it's just like, you just don't get it. You don't get what I'm trying to do. And I can't explain to you, why what I said was okay. Because if you don't already understand it, you're never going to understand it, because it's like so simple to me. And I know that that's a sign of intelligence. Oh, those intelligents. Oh, God, they tap dance so well. Anyway, I know it's a sign of intelligence to be able to explain to somebody something that they don't understand. And I would like to think that I'm an intelligent person. But really, so part of me is like, I could explain to people in the comments why them telling me my video is bad is like, well, no, you're wrong because everything's subjective, and oh, you just didn't get the joke, or this is referencing this that you haven't seen, which is why you thought the joke didn't land, but actually it's a very well crafted joke. In this scenario, I'm hilarious. None of these are actually real because none of my videos were that good, because it was basically this, but like a lot more me trying to be real funny. But I think that in my head I'm like, I probably could take the time to assess somebody and explain to them my point of view, and maybe have them come around to it, and if not agree with me, at least understand where I'm coming from. It's much more difficult online than it is face to face. But also, like, I can't be bothered. You know what I mean? Like, I can't be bothered to go into the comment section of a video that got 24 views and be like, well, actually, the reason that my joke about misogyny wasn't actually like reinforcing misogyny is because blah, blah, blah. Like, satire is blah, blah. It's not, I'm not prepared to have those conversations with the type of people who comment that sort of stuff online. That's probably why I stopped making videos, I'll be honest, is because I didn't like that people didn't get it. And I didn't want to have to explain myself and be like, well, that's just how I am. Like, you can watch, and I say this a lot, this is my point of reference a lot, the movie Juno, something like that, where they kind of talk in a very strange way and the dialogue is so specific. And I mean, anything that Diablo Cody has written is the same way. When you watch that, you either enjoy it or you don't. And I feel like I'm nowhere near as funny or good as a Diablo Cody script. God, I hope that I could be. That is part of, I made a conscious decision in my teenage years to be like, hey, I enjoyed that movie. People enjoy it when people speak like that. I'm going to say more dumb, funny stuff. And if somebody doesn't like that, I just can't be bothered to go to war with them in the comments over like, hey, respect me, even though I'm different than you in a way that is so inconsequential. In the, oh, maybe I'm a little bit weird, but like, I'm not that weird. I don't have a basement. That's not to put too much of a harp on it, but that is the base level of weirdness. If you have a basement, you're a freak. And that's something that you take into account when you're buying a house. If you're just renting, the basement doesn't count. If you bought a house with a basement, I'm sorry, you're a weirdo, because you want to use that for some weird stuff. And I don't have a basement, therefore I can't be that weird. I don't have a collection of dolls, so I'm not that weird. You know what I mean? I actually don't collect anything other than memories. Oh my God. Wow. Look, some of us are trying to be positive people and we're missing the mark. You know, we've come from being a weird negative person who now has a podcast where they complain about fruits and internet comments. And, you know, we're trying to be positive. And sometimes we say things like, I just collect memories, because we don't really know how to do it. We're just emulating Instagram, like inspirational posts, right? I'm just so inspirational, okay? Everything that you've needed has been inside you all along, except that you just need more energy every day, so you have to constantly eat. So actually it hasn't been inside you all along, so just go have a snack and I think everything will be fine. If there's a philosophy that I have in life, it really is just have a snack and everything's going to be fine. I think that's the answer. And maybe that's why today I was talking so much about fruit, because I'm just like, have a healthy snack, Rebecca. You know, just have a healthy snack. I would like everyone to know I do have a tattoo on my arm. It is an avocado, and the text underneath it in a banner does say stop, guac, and roll. And I said to the tattoo artist when I got it done, I was like, just leave a banner there. I'm going to think up some kind of saying to go with this avocado, but I don't know what it'll be. And I walked in on the morning getting the tattoo and was like, I've got it. The perfect thing. Stop, guac, and roll. And I think that's it, man. Just like, if things are going badly, if you feel like your house is burning, but like emotionally burning, you just got to stop, assess the situation, think, calm yourself, guac, have a snack, have a healthy snack, some healthy fats, guacamole. That's what it's about. And then just like keep on rolling, baby, you know, rolling stone, keep on going. That's it. Stop, guac, and roll. It's have a healthy snack. And that is how we're going to get through this time together. I hope we'll see. We'll see how much of this just becomes basically a food diary. I'll send it to a dietitian. So I don't have a dietitian, but last year I did decide, I was like, I'm a bit unhealthy and I need to try to fix my diet. And I cut out all carbs and all sugar last year for at least 9 months. And let me tell you, it was so hard for the first 2 weeks. And then as soon as those first 2 weeks were over, it was like the easiest thing, and I did not miss it. And then Christmas was hell stressful, or even not Christmas, like end of October, beginning of November. Yeah, I think it was beginning of November. I was like real stressful. And so I just started eating sugar and carbs again and was like, it's fine. I'll be done by Christmas. And then Christmas came and went. And then my New Year's came and went. And then my birthday's at the end of January. That came and went. And I kept being like, it's fine. By then I'll stop eating it. I'll go back to my, like, you know, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I'll go back to my old lifestyle. Didn't happen. I'm still eating waffles every day for breakfast with maple syrup, which is pure sugar. I think it's imitation maple. Let's be real. Pure sugar. Because it was $5. How could real maple syrup be $5? So my point is, I don't have a nutritionist. I visited one once in the middle of last year, like almost a year ago now, if not, yeah, probably over a year ago. And the only thing that she said to me was, you are eating too many avocados. And I almost threw the desk at her. I was like, I'm eating one a day, maybe 1.5. She was like, that's too many. You should be having half an avocado a day max. She was like, I mean, it's okay to have one avocado a day if then for the next 2 days you don't have any. And I'm like, what do you mean don't have any avocado? What are you talking about? I don't understand that. And I never went back to see her ever again because I was like, I actually just don't want your negativity in my life, lady. I don't want it. Because I'm going to eat avocados. Because let's be real, avocados is better than McDonald's. Waffles for breakfast isn't good, but at least I'm having it with bananas and strawberries and not with like choc chips. You know what I mean? I did also put choc chips on it, but like it wasn't the main proponent of the dish. It was just like a little, sprinkle on top for a bit of flair. Okay. All right. Let's not get in our high horse about it. In our little knickers up on our high horse, talking to me about the way I eat choc chips. I'm not impressed by it. So, hi, I'm here back making content. We got just sidetracked. We talked about food, then we talked about online comments, then now we're back. I think my point with the online comments was, I'm really scared to do this again. Actually, I realized that yesterday after I uploaded my first one and was like, oh no, people get to have a comment on me. Because I'm not writing a script. I'm not putting out a skit or like a skit isn't a thing. I'm not putting out sketch comedy. I'm not like writing a song. I'm not creating a thing and having someone say like, oh, it's good, but the lines could be better. It's someone being like, no, you aren't interesting. No, you aren't funny. No, you aren't someone I want to spend 20 minutes of my life with, or 25, 27, whatever it ends up being. And that is, on one hand, I'm like, yeah, cool. If every person in the world said that they did want to hang out with me for 27 minutes, most of them would be lying and I would wonder why and I would be terrified. But if no one says that, it's like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? But you know what? If this process of creating this has proven anything to me, it's that like, I'll just hang out by myself. I have enough personalities inside my own brain that I just don't need anybody else. I'll just sit here with my little voices that they're not even characters. They're just like, sometimes I like holding my mouth in a funny way and it feels good. It feels like a warm cup of caravan tea. Fresh from the pot like 25 minutes ago now, so it's slightly room temp and actually not that nice anymore, but I'm still going to drink it. Sip, sip, bitch. Anyway, I feel like that's it. I've rambled for a long time about many things. I do actually want to know what you think the best fruit combination is. Don't send me oranges in the mail because I don't like them and won't eat them. And when you comment online on the stuff that people make for free, be kind about it. And like, yeah, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's like, it's not necessary to honestly, that sounds like such a weird defensive thing to be like, oh, I'm putting out content and I don't want anyone to be mean to me, but like, I don't. And we're on a really like weird traumatic time right now and we're all just trying to cope. And I know some people cope by being a dickhead. But please don't be that person. I don't know, what is this about me being like, guys, please be kind to me. Anyway, this one was another weird one and I hope that you guys got something fun out of it. If it was only, 20 minutes of distraction in your day, which is in a weird time and there's no schedule and here's this now. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're doing really well. I think probably you are doing really well because you're here and you're surviving and you're getting through it and you don't have to do anything other than get through this time. And if you're getting through this time, then I think you're a babe and I think you are going to come out of this time a better, stronger, more resilient person. I definitely feel like I am. And hopefully as well, you'll just like have spent some time with yourself having fun. And I don't mean that in a weird sexual way. I also definitely do, because specifically women should definitely masturbate more, but also, or like talk about it more, but also just generally in your life. Okay, that's it. I'm going to stop talking now because my time is about to run out and I love you and I miss you. Bye.